Hi, I'm here with Judy Douglas. She has visited Austin here for a few days, and most of you know who Judy is, but she's on staff with Crew. She is the director of Women's Resources as well as a writer and speaker. She travels all over the world, and she has so much experience and background, and I wanted to ask her a question that I think is going to help all of us. She has really managed to develop the habit of gratitude in her life, of really being thankful. I mean, I hear this from other people, not Judy. She hasn't told me this. Others have said she really does give thanks, even for hard things, and it has become a habit. And I've heard that, but I do not have it as a habit. So I wanted to ask her, what has helped her develop this habit daily of giving thanks, even in hard things?
Well, I had the great privilege for many years of working with Bill Bright. And he would say often, remember, we need to give thanks in everything. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. But of course, I didn't do that consistently at all. And but I worked at it some. I would try to remember to say thank you. It's easy to say thank you in the things we like, but we don't remember to do it a lot of times. And so I kind of was first starting to remember when something happened that I really liked, to remember to thank God and not just let it go. But then God sent us our son, who challenged all the deepest, hardest things in our lives. And he was such a long-term 15, 20 years of challenge. And many times bad things happened, like the time I get the phone call when I'm out of town that he's in the hospital because he was in an accident and they were almost killed. And so I'm just like, okay, I'm supposed to say thank you, Lord. So I did. There was the time I was in Indianapolis at a winter conference to speak, and I get a phone call at 1 a.m. and he's in jail. And it's like, okay, Lord, I am not thankful for this at all, but I'm going to say thank you. And that was kind of where I began to learn to do it regularly, because he gave us so many challenging opportunities where things would happen that were scary, or make us angry, or make you think, will he ever learn? Will things ever change? And God just kept nudging me to remember to give thanks. And I found that when I would give thanks, several things happened. The first was almost immediately there was just a little switch in my attitude. It wasn't a big one usually, but a little bit of less resistance to okay, God's still in control. But then it was like, by saying thank you, I realized I was saying to God that I remember that he's God and that he's good. And if I can remember those things, then I can say thank you in that. Rarely for it in the beginning, later. But I also learned another thing that helped me see the realities of it, and that was to look for the good. If I believe Romans 8:28 is true, or in Jeremiah where he says he's always looking for ways to do good to us, well then I'm going to look for the good. So I say thank you, Lord, to what I think is a difficult, hard situation. And but now I'm going to open my eyes, and at least maybe I will see some of the good God's doing. Maybe just a little, maybe obviously. But those things worked enough in my heart and mind that it made it easier for me to practice it. And so I'm driving down the street and there's an accident and we're late today. And you go, okay, thank you, Lord. You know the time, you know where we need to be, what's happening, and I can trust that you're still in control. In fact, I just wrote an article for our Prayer for Prodigals community and on my blog about God is still in control. And that he's in control and that he is good is like, okay, I can say thank you. And I just practice it. And it becomes easier and easier. I remember it pretty quickly usually. I don't take any credit, God has given that as an ability, and my son, with all of his challenges, is who made it real, because I had so many opportunities to say thank you, Lord. So,
Well, that is so helpful. I mean, I know for me now, I really do want this to become my habit too. So I hope hearing you is going to remind me, and Lord, remind me also. Hopefully that'll help all of us. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary.